right kit changes everything. With the right kit, you're ready for anything. United, connected, unstoppable. Whatever your sport, we are your sporting partner. Creating your kit your way. For every team, for every challenge, for every aspiration. Feel seen, feel ready, feel part of the team. Kit on, game on.
RFC. It is the Oratory derby, the Oratory against London Oratory. We've had some very, very special games here over the years. We are in the midst of the Sky Sports studios, but NextGen15 is where your school rugby's at, as you all well know. I'm joined right at the start here by Cian Tappan, the Oratory skipper. Cian, this is a special occasion every year for the Oratory. How are the boys feeling ahead of kickoff?
Yeah, I mean, it's very special. Lots of people watching. Nerves are pretty high, but you'd expect that. We're just looking to stay calm, get the job done if we can.
And you guys are coming in some pretty good form. You must be feeling good about yourselves right now.
Yeah, no, we've won most of our games. We're doing pretty well. So yeah, we're hoping for a good result here.
Absolutely, and obviously the younger lads have been out here. Do you get that sense that they're here watching their heroes on, ready to go? Does that give you an extra sense of inspiration?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it makes you proud. We've got like old boys watching from New Zealand, so it really makes us proud to play for the badge, and hopefully we can do a job for the other boys.
Absolutely right. Go and finish your warm-up, Cian. Kickoff's not too far away. I've got Mikey Hennessy as well, the head of rugby here at the Oratory. Mikey, always a great evening here at Grasshoppers. Looking forward to it?
Yes, I was just saying it's the fourth year we've been back here now for our sort of Oratory derby, so it's a big sort of standout event for us in our rugby calendar. We've got coaches, minibuses, lots of old boys here in attendance, so yeah, really big event and looking forward to it.
And we've got some special things to look out for tonight. Particularly, you were telling me before about some very special work that's happening.
Yeah, so in the summer, some old boys of the school ran from the Marble Arch in London to the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, their Arc to Arc run to raise money for the British Heart Foundation, Cry and Brave Mind, which is a charity that supported Morgan McRae, one of our old boys, former rugby captain, Wales Sevens, now playing with Rams. He had a cardiac arrest last year, but is now back playing with a defib. So if you are able to donate to any of those charities, that would be much appreciated.
Absolutely, really important cause, and I'm sure people will give generously. On the field, obviously, we've just been talking to Kean there. It sounds like the boys are ready and raring to go. Yeah,
really excited. We come into it in pretty good form. We lost our opening game to RGS High Wycombe, but we've won all our games since. We're pretty lucky that we've got the core of our pack back from last year, so 5 of our starting 8 back from last year, scrum half back, 2 centres back, so we're a pretty experienced side, playing well. But not underestimating the task. We know we lost this game in that year group at under 16, so we're expecting a big challenge, but hoping we can get over the line.
Absolutely, and a big shout out to the Old Boys Association as well.
Yes, a big shout out to the Oratory Society, our alumni association, which have helped to sponsor the event. So an old friend of mine, Henry Gilbert, who I think controls the coffers in that organisation, so a big thank you to him and the association for sponsoring this evening.
Absolutely right. You better go and get things going, because I can see there's some ARs out on the field, so we're almost ready to go. Good luck, Mikey.
Brilliant. Thank you, Angus. Thanks, guys.
Mikey Hennessy there, head of rugby here at the Oratory. As I say, we can see ARs and things coming out, so we're not too far away from kickoff. If you were with us earlier, you witnessed an absolutely fantastic game between Shiplake College and Aylesbury Grammar School. Shiplake retaining the Davis Shield, but all eyes moving here to Grasshoppers RFC for this 7:15 kickoff. So you've got just about enough time to fill up a kettle or something before we get going, but not much more than that. Looking a little further ahead as well, this is a big weekend coming up. We've got a couple of live festivals for you. The John Fisher State Schools Festival, a first of its kind, and then arguably the biggest 15-a-side competition in all of schools rugby, the St Joseph's Festival, the 38th annual St Joseph's Festival. It's going to be absolutely massive. But before all that, it's this massive Oratory derby. These two, as Kean was saying, arrive in great form. There's a bit of an unusual stat coming into this one, and that is that London Oratory have not won this game this century. Quite surprising, given how closely they've been matched over the years. We had a draw 2 years ago, but now, can they turn the tables? It's going to be close, but it's going to be a cracking game. Will the Oratory go further? We will find out. There's been action everywhere. There's loads of action behind me as well. In fact, in front of me, behind the camera, there's a whole load of games going on. We've had under 16s, we've had second 15, we've had under 15s as well. They're all playing very nicely, but as you can see behind me, the tunnel is starting to form, and they are ready to lead their side out onto the field. It's going to be massive. It's going to be great. We have got two cracking sets of players lining up, and by the way, we've got some cracking try scorers as well. Somte Monier's got 3 to his name already. He's got 37 points already this season, playing absolutely fantastic rugby, and there's a few others that we can mention along those lines as well. Tom Davies as well, who's a try scoring machine in the front row. But plenty to look forward to this afternoon, or this evening I should say. But it's looking pretty decent. The weather has stayed strong. We were expecting rainfall. There hasn't been too much yet. Fingers crossed it stays that way, because this is an absolutely incredible setting to be at. It's a wonderful surface. It's AstroTurf 4G rubber crumb. It's going to be absolutely perfect conditions if it stays dry. The ball will sit up. These running, exciting backlines will get us moving. We can't wait for it. It's going to be fantastic. Looking further ahead to the weekend, we've got some great fixtures coming up as well. Clifton College against Taunton School being a standout amongst them. There are some real big games all around the country as we head into this half-term break. There's a number of sides that are heading towards unbeaten first halves of term. But we're going to have a look now, because the teams are starting to emerge. The crowd is starting to rumble behind me. I can hear the cheers going up. It's been a big day here at Grasshoppers RFC. And so we are going to allow the teams to come out, and we'll run through those teams for you very shortly after the players emerge. We'll be back with you in commentary in just a second. Welcome back then to Grasshoppers RFC. Massive game ahead of us between the Oratory and London Oratory, and it's the Oratory that get us underway. And I'm joined up here in commentary by Patrick Hennessy, brother of Mikey, the head of rugby at the Oratory. Nice to see you, Patrick.
Thanks very much for having me, Angus. Both sides seem confident here. Promises to be an excellent game, I think. Certainly the London Oratory boys seem pretty confident, so it'd be nice for them to see if they can get their first win in this fixture for a few years now.
Certainly will be. Big game. London Oratory boot it deep. It's really difficult, isn't it, Patrick, in these nighttime games with the low floodlights as a fullback with the ball dropping out of the sky?
Absolutely, it's difficult. I saw both sets of fullbacks and back threes doing a lot of practice on that in the warm-up, and with the wind swirling as well, that's not going to be easy for either side.
Oratory taking it forward and eventually getting to ground. Will Hickling played in the second 15 fixture last year, starts for the first 15 this year. Sante Monye there at scrum half. Back-to-back starts at scrum half in this fixture.
I think Oratory will look to use that a lot. Somto's very good off both feet. He'll look to pin them back in the early exchanges. I think Mikey said they've got 5 out of 8 returning in their pack, and they've just earned themselves a penalty there. Good pressure early on.
Opportunity to stick it in the corner. Monye goes big, but just a bit too big. But it's something we're seeing more and more, not just in the school game, but actually right the way up to the pro game, is players being told, go for it. We'd almost rather you miss than that you didn't gamble and go and get as close to the line as possible.
I think so, absolutely. That extra 2 or 3 meters you can get will make all the difference. And I know for the Oratory in particular, the maul is a huge weapon for them, and they'll want to get that as close to the line as possible. Scrum also should be strong. Rocco Valabona packing down on the tight head side. Powerful boy. Seems to have got a bit of a nudge on there.
London Oratory dart around the blind side. They've just looked at set up for an exit, but holding on the floor, and it's another penalty in a dangerous area for the Oratory.
See if Monye can step up and put this one into touch and let the pack use their maul, which has been so dangerous. No risks that time.
Just a short delay while we try and locate a ball. I'm sure one will be forthcoming at some point. We've had about 15 games out here today. There's bound to be one somewhere.
Great attacking platform for the Oratory here. Rudy Derbyshire, number 6, throwing in.
Now the maul starts to get rumbling. London Oratory have defended this really well, actually. Now the Oratory just start to get a bit of a rumble on that second wave, but the ball is dropped, and London Oratory will have the scrum. That initial defence there, really good.
Yeah, fantastic defence from London Oratory. Made the Oratory work hard for it there, but they'll be disappointed once they got the nudge on that their ball security wasn't so good there. Just lost control in the transfer. Opportunity gone begging there.
Crouch. Right. Set.
The exit from London Oratory straight down the middle. Chase has got to be good, and it is decent, but there's some
It's a very
space
good kick.
to stab that ball in. It's covered very nicely in the end by London Oratory fullback Valentine Davis. Second row mate Nduanike helping him out, and London Oratory now looking to charge out from their own 22. That ball was a little loose, but all tidied up in their favour as Kapura Singh takes it forward, but once again holding on the floor. Tapan, the captain, getting his mitts on there.
Very risky there. Maybe played 1 or 2 phases. Could have maybe gone for an exit out before then, but good pressure from the Oratory. Good kick from Jay Herbert, the full back into space, led to the pressure. Tomto Monye has the first chance for points today.
I'd say in just the 30 seconds that we had with Kian Tapan before the game, very, very impressive young man.
Very impressive. South African-born player. I'm led to believe he is the nephew of Sean Payne, former Munster and Sharks player, so rugby's very much ingrained in the family. I know his dad Mike is a huge supporter of the games at the Oratory.
Monye's kick just slides wide. So London Oratory, despite a few moments of ill discipline inside their own 22, remain at 0-0. Fantastic strength through the contact there from Tapan. A huge, booming goal line drop, 22 dropout, I should say.
Brave.
London Oratory, as you say, incredibly brave from Jay Herbert as he scorches out from behind his own try line. Another of those that played in the second 15 game last year gets to go in the first team game this year. The Oratory looking to play, getting the offload away. There might be a bit of space. Second offload comes in. Now they have the overlap on the outside. Stepping back in though. And then just one pass too many. But they had the penalty in hand. But a sign there of the expansion that they want to play with.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see both sides early on in their own 22s looking to keep ball in hand, keep the ball alive. Oratory had the penalty advantage there. Maybe both sides just need to settle a little bit, get a few phases into the game, be a little bit more composed in possession rather than trying to force the passes in the conditions early on.
Monye sends it into a packed stand on that far side. It is a very nice clubhouse here at Grasshoppers RFC. And supporters and pupils of both these two sides are taking full advantage and packing it out, as you can see there.
It's interesting to see Oratory move Valabona out to the middle on this. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit him quite early on and he has a big carry up the middle. Very good tackle on him.
Well, as you say, Rocco Valabona, the target man there, and the next target is Jake Jackson. Interesting battle tonight in the 12 shirt between Jake Jackson and Sheenan Gallagher. Played against each other in this fixture last year. A year on, who will come out with the upper hand tonight?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some good moments from both. A great exit out there from Oratory from the carry. Great kick downfield from Max Zucker. Maybe Oratory just having the better of the territory at the moment, but not able to do not that much with it at the moment.
Outside of the mark 4. Thank you.
First line out of the game.
Thank you, 10.
Kapura Singh to send it in. Poached though by the Oratory. They look to release the back line, see what they can offer.
Roll 10. Okay, what is it? No, that's on purpose.
Monye has to dig for that one a little bit. Now Jackson straightens, and Jackson through the
Strong
hole.
carry.
Still going Jackson up to the 22.
Yeah, no.
Gets the penalty as well.
Number 1.
London
Number
Oratory
one,
off their
stay on the
feet.
Number 1.
Tapan just asking the question of Monye whether he fancies sticks or corner. Corner is the answer.
I think that's the right decision. Go to the corner, back yourselves. Not an easy kick to the corner with the wind, but I think Oratory got to back their maul.
No, it is worth pointing out, actually, isn't it, that there is a pretty stiff breeze at times tonight, blowing pretty much straight down the pitch from right to left as we look at it. So advantage on that front very much in London Oratory's favour in the first half. But it's been the Oratory, the Reading Oratory, that have had the bulk of the territory so far. Off this lineup, they brought both wingers way out to the right-hand side. They're now just joined by the fullback as the maul gets going, but it disconnected.
Not the same more. He's going, he's in front of you, number 3 in front of you.
And they're just finding it hard in this opening period to convert these opportunities into something a little bit more, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the occasion is obviously a big one for both sets of players. And maybe just a little bit of composure, going back to what you're used to in an ordinary game, ordinary training. And just that composure under pressure to make the right decision and do what you're used to doing. Yeah, just broke off the maul there. Unlucky, they looked like they did have a secondary shove on there.
Such a difficult one as the ball carrier there, because you've got your eyes looking at the floor and you're really just feeling where you're going, aren't you?
Yeah, not a position I would enjoy to be in too much myself, but they've won another one as well. Strong carry from Tapan.
No hands, no hands. We go back, not straight. We go back. Captain, where's captain?
Just struggling a little bit to find some fluency early on.
Not straight.
Yeah, I think this is where the halfbacks really just need to get a grip of both sets of forwards and just be really clear about what they want from them. Perhaps London Oratory, with the wind when they get the ball, need to look at playing maybe a territorial game, get the ball downfield and try and force the Reading Oratory into mistakes.
Go. Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay there, stay there. Over now.
Strong
Use
opening
it,
scrum.
use it. Put it there,
Balabonnet
use it.
doing good work on that tight head side. Bit of a mix-up in midfield, but Jackson tidies up. Suspect Jackson
Lifted.
is going to do a lot of that type of work tonight. The gritty work in the midfield. Monye spots some space in behind. It's covered well again by Davis in the backfield.
A good chase from Charlie Burton there in number 4.
Tackle roll.
Just pinning London Oratory back here.
Again, number 3. He has to roll. He can't roll on the other side. You're blocking the 9. Number 3. Wrong side.
Well, the Oratory ping there for not rolling away, but it was another example of how quick Tapan is to get over the ball.
Yeah, he's had a really good start to this game. Clearly a player who leads from the front.
That ball stays in field, fielded by Tom Davis. He was a centre through much of last year, but on the wing tonight, Monye siding through. Pucker steps in to play 10, hands it to Tapan, who thrusts forward.
No hands, no hands. Yeah.
Monye wanted to go blind, got slowed down. Now he finds a bit of space. Hickling feeds it out to Davies, who's bundled into touch. London Oratory defending well here.
Yeah, very well, very well. They're absorbing the pressure well. Key for them is now how they exit downfield. Monye being in the backfield off the kick return has been a feature for the Oratory so far this season. He's a very elusive runner. Almost got away there.
Does feel like the sort of night, doesn't it, where if this game starts to break up, there's going to be a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah, I think so, particularly on a fast track like this. Another one against the head. That's the third one Oratory had nicked against the head of London. There's Jackson again, another really strong carry.
No, no, no lifts over now. You're not lifting the ball.
Giving it out to that.
Really good defence there.
Stop. You've won the ball. It's going to be scrum to reds. Right. Just wait.
Knocked to one of the Oratory players, although Saunders is back on his feet quickly, but it had been ripped before the referee blew his whistle, so it will be London Oratory that have possession when we restart the game with a scrum.
Guys, water off. He's on already. Let's go. Water off. Water off. Water off. Time back on.
Our referee tonight,
Here.
Cyril Boignard, keen to get the game moving, get the players, get the water off the field and get the players playing.
Let's go. Crouch.
Like Elliot Saunders is leaving the field for the Oratory at the moment. That will be a blow. Big presence in the midfield for them.
Yeah, it looks as though Tom Davies has moved into the midfield where I mentioned he played much of last year. I think on has come Casper Kieran, just to confirm that.
Crouch.
I think that's Iffy onto the wing, Iffy Bede onto the wing, Tom Davis into the centre. Don't think they'll lose much. I think he's been the top try scorer for the Oratory this season, so he'll be a threat there.
Tackle now. No. What is that?
London Oratory, after a bit of a wrestle, get possession, and then a bit of a rumble from Leonardo Sasato. Disabata gets the penalty as well, and McDonnell goes quickly down that blind side. The big tackle comes in, takes them into touch, and you can hear the cheers going up on that far side.
Just wonder whether London Oratory could have used the win there to pump it downfield. They've not really had many opportunities in the Oratory 22 yet. Instead, tapped and gone, and it's ended up with the Oratory bundling them out into touch.
It's Rudy Derbyshire who's going to be throwing into the line-out.
Can't even see it.
Actually played in the centres for the under-16s last year, but into the back row for sixth form.
Yeah, very versatile player, very good sportsman, I believe. Underwent a very long, hard fitness regime in his pre-season to get him ready to play in the back row.
Rocco Valabona juggling with the ball and then making great yards, and it's opened up the space for his Oratory side. Could they be away for the score? Pass could have gone, didn't have to go though, because Adi Hector is away for the opening score of the game. Valabona got them on the front foot, and all the space was out there on the right-hand side for them to charge into. And the Oratory have the opening score.
Yeah, really well pre-planned move. Valabona hitting it up in the middle, beating a few defenders, opened up the middle of the field, and just really nice handling from Jake Jackson to put them away. Could have been any of three of them in the end, but Hector finishes it off. Really well worked score that. That's probably the first passage of play they've had where they've been able to maintain some continuity. I think Mr. Watson and Mr. Hennessy will be very happy with that score.
They certainly will. Fantastic try. Adi Hector finishing it off. Could have gone, as you say, to either one of the men on his outside, but that fly half instinct, he was at fly half in the under-16 game last year, telling him that he knew the defender was just going to drift off him.
Yeah, I think he's a very talented player. He's maybe not your stereotypical winger, but a really good sportsman, good ball handler. Maybe out of the sort of Mac Hansen type of playbook like Ireland have. Good ball handler, looking for work. Really well worked that.
If he's out the Mac Hansen playbook, expect anything.
Here we go again, he's off again.
Hector, as you say, collects the kickoff.
Yeah, use it now.
Monier's going to look to box to exit. Sends it high. Chase is good too.
Back.
Anyone's ball there. Just falls on London Oratory's side.
Is here, number 1 is fine. We go back, no count by yellow here.
It was knocked on by both
Number
sides.
1 is fine,
So
contest
we'll have
is
a
good,
London
no
Oratory
advantage, no count by yellow.
scrum down. 80 Hector's second try of the season, that. Moves him up the Oratory's try scoring charts.
It's not me.
Level with Herbert and Tapan.
Keep the gap, keep the gap. Okay.
Probably the best platform London Oratory have had here to attack from. They haven't had much territory so far. It'll be interesting to see how they utilise their back line off this.
Put it there, use it.
It's a big scrum against them, but they get the ball away and then they send their open side, Aaron O'Donovan, thumping forward in midfield.
Good, lift it. Knock on. Player.
Just a case of too many cooks there.
Just a knock on advantage, scrum
Seems the
advantage.
ball lost forward. Monnier
Advantage is over for knock on.
looks to find a bit of grass. Covered again by Davis, who's worked hard in the backfield, and now he's just going to have a little look to counter. Somehow wriggles free of 2 or 3 tacklers. No idea how he's escaped that.
Very nice footwork there.
And the 2 front rows collide in midfield.
Back.
Well, that ball felt like a try one way or the other. Intercept was on, the try for London Oratory was on.
Back by red.
In the
hit
end, the
by
ball
yellow.
beats everyone and heads into touch, but that felt like a 7-pointer
Back by
one way
red,
or the
hit
other.
by yellow.
Yeah, sadly neither winger could gather that. Some nice attack there from the London Oratory. That ball had gone to hand there. I think it would have been an interesting foot race to the line.
London Oratory line out again. This time they win it, but then as it's tapped back, it bounces forward
He's offside, it's not voluntary, the ball hits.
and then offside.
Line out is over, it's going to be here. He's offside, it's not voluntary. Okay, guys, the ball come in his hands.
So it's going to be a scrum. The knock-on was first before the offside. Really is challenging conditions for the line-out operators out there tonight. The wind is absolutely
Yeah,
blowing
absolutely. I think both sides maybe need to
Crouch!
perhaps have a less complicated
Back.
line out and just get the ball in and up to the front jumpers just to secure the ball.
Stay here, Nate. Okay, use it now.
Whole field
Lift it.
available for the Oratory to work in, but that's great work off the back of the scrum from Aaron O'Donovan to just snare up Monnier, who's done brilliantly just to keep the ball on Oratory terms, and Tapan now drives forward just to bring a bit of control to proceedings.
For me, it's in the tackle.
Lost
it's
forward in
not
the
in
tackle by London Oratory.
Okay.
Well, they haven't had the ball they would have wanted, London Oratory. They are defending
For me,
with
that's a
real
knock-on
ferocity.
in the
Yeah,
tackle.
they've really come up hard as a line. They've not made it easy for the Oratory at all to get into their phase game. Credit to them for that. I just think with the conditions, I wonder whether
Keep going.
perhaps this 9 and 10 can look to play a little bit more downfield, make the Oratory turn, get their pack
Fine.
turning.
Set!
Is the worry on a track like this, where obviously, you know, we've all seen 4G surfaces pretty regularly now, when you're playing with the wind behind you, the ball runs and runs, and there's always that fear of it running dead, isn't
It's
there?
a worry, absolutely.
That's a ball!
Absolutely.
Play on, ball is ready. Advantage.
That's Tapan
High
again.
tackle,
Some
16.
really good, nice work in there.
16, high tackle. 16, high tackle here.
High tackle comes in, another
No
penalty
more than a penalty.
to the Oratory, just on the edge of the 22
16.
here. Last time they were in this sort of position, they went to the corner, and it looks like that's what Monnier's going to do.
Yeah, I think that's with the win. That's the right decision.
Yeah, you've got to drill it so hard and so low.
He's giving that absolutely full whack to get that to the touchline there.
Rudy Derbyshire then to throw in, collected.
Interesting decision not to compete on that one,
There's more.
especially in the conditions.
Now the maul gets motoring
no, 16.
for the Oratory. They've got it at the
One
back.
more.
starting to surge forward up towards the try line. You can just see the ball there poking out on the right-hand side. It's been ripped now into the hands of Derbyshire at the tail. Second try for the Oratory. I think it was Rudy Derbyshire that got his hands on the ball just at the end there.
Yeah, really effective maul there. Were patient, kept moving forward. The Watson has them well drilled there.
And it was Derbyshire that got his mitts on it at the tail of the line out. I bet he's delighted that he's throwing into line outs. That means he gets to sit on the back of that maul all day long.
Absolutely.
For me, they were. Otherwise, I would have blown the whistle. Yeah, I will have it. I will have a look. Yeah. Yeah, it's still. Yeah.
Not since Neil Backstay have we had flankers hanging on to the tail of mauls.
Yeah, really effective maul there. Good line out. I wondered whether with the conditions, whether London Oratory would put anyone up just to try and disrupt the throw. But once they got into rhythm there, the Oratory really looked hard to stop.
Monnier gives it a good thump. It's done well even to reach the post there. But to no avail. A 12-0 lead though, through a Rudy Derbyshire score for the Oratory here. And this is an impressive start. I mean, not to harp on about it too much, but they are playing into the wind. You'd expect the going to be tougher in that scenario. So a 12-0 lead is highly impressive.
Yeah, I think this is where having maybe the 5 out of your starting pack who played last year playing again, they've sort of taken the bull by the horns a little bit. Maybe not everything has gone their way, but their experience has just sort of come through a little bit.
Kickoff goes up towards the 22 from London Oratory, claimed by Tapan.
Use it, 9.
Monnier will look to put boot to ball here.
Move back.
Blows back into his face though.
Back by yellow.
There, an example of just how strong this is. He's going to get another chance though. Might fancy a little run here. Can he get an offload away? Yes, he can. This fly half pucker is taken to ground now, so Monnier's probably going to look to stick this one up. I almost wonder if he might benefit from a short kick that just rolls on and on. That one's touched and it'll be an Oratory clearing kick.
Touched in flight, so yellow ball on there.
Captain, square more line up. Not straight. Outside shoulder clearly is it? Yes. Outside shoulder there is a contest. It's clearly. Let's go. Crouch! Bind!
Scrum down then, London Oratory ball.
Set! Okay, stay there, 9 back.
Solid feed. And just wrap it around out to the outside, ball goes to ground. Just a bit more scrappy than they would have liked.
There was a chance there if that had gone to Ham there. It looked like the Oratory had been caught on numbers on that touchline. Sometimes happens when you'd had a little of the ball, maybe pushing that past a little bit more than you normally would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, good. Okay. I thought it was slow, but yeah, I will. Okay. Okay. Crouch! Bind! Set! No, over 45. Reset, no turnover low.
We'll reset this scrum. Interesting shape here from the Oratory off this one. They've got 4 players in a little diamond
Not stable, yeah.
just off the scrum. couple of players a little wider out. Looks as though Jackson's going to be the man
Crouch.
running that hard line if needs be.
Bind.
Yeah, I think so.
Set.
He almost looks like a car that's revving its engines, doesn't he? He's pacing there.
Number 1.
He won't get it though. Penalty, London Oratory. Sharp bind. They go for the trick play short, but it's well covered.
Really good work there from Charlie Burton. Oratory had a setup with the line out there where they had Valabona looking to one man lift Burton at the front, but Burton was alive to the fact that that could come short.
It's a line out, guys. It's a line out. Line out.
Valabona, the man whose parents own a restaurant just around the corner from me.
Very good one, I believe. Table Valabona in Wimbledon.
The best restaurant in Wimbledon, so I've heard. Not that I'm angling for a free meal or anything.
It's outside shoulder. You catch it here.
Competition is stiff as well, but they're unrivaled from what I'm told.
Cool.
Valabona's got a bit of work to do here because the London Oratory scrum 5 metres from his try line, and there's just enough of a blindside to make this one a bit of a nightmare to defend.
Yeah, this is where as a tight head, you've got to make sure you've got a steady scrum here. Don't let London Oratory get nudge on.
And they do just that. London Oratory move it into the midfield. In the end, Remmer.
Good counter back there.
Couldn't find a pass, and then a fantastic counter ruck, as you say.
Tackle now, tackle, tackle, tackle.
Allows the Oratory to take the ball and get all the way up to the 22. Monye, under pressure, gets the ball away. Davis has space in the backfield. We've already seen what a dangerous runner he can be. This time, he gives the ball away to one of his mates, and then Remmer finds another.
Good tackle.
Keohan takes that one in. And then hitting the line hard is Gallagher, almost getting through, just caught by his shirt tails there. Starting to build a little bit of phase play momentum here. London Oratory nearly lost that one, but the referee says there was no release. Still London Oratory play. They just can't quite find the space. Perhaps there's a little bit now. Patient from Remmer.
Over.
Now they find a bit of impetus. Gallagher breaks through another tackle.
No hands. Stay back.
Much better composure from London Oratory here. That's a lovely line there.
Charging through, Sasato de Sabata. Still going Sasato de Sabata. Oh, the tight head prop. Scoring tries like an outside centre. Leonardo Sasato de Sabata with one to remember.
Really well worked tries. The first really time they've been able to go into their phase play. That's a really good carry, beats 2 men, then the cover defence. Not what you want to see when you're full back, a tight head prop storming down your channel at that speed.
Well, a couple of times he looked like he wanted to get rid of it and realised, oh, I think I've got to keep going. Wanted to give the pass there and then just suddenly realised, oh no, I've ridden this tackle, I better carry on. Gets himself across the try line. What a moment for the tight head.
Really well finished.
And just as London Oratory score, the rain comes lashing down as well.
I think that piece of play just shows how dangerous London Oratory will be if they can get any possession and territory. They've got threats all over the pitch.
There he is.
We've got 40 seconds.
Leonardo Sasato de Sabata. What a name as well.
Very Italian themed tight head props
40 seconds.
this evening.
40 seconds.
There's obviously something about Italian front rowers.
Run behind.
They have had some of the greats over the years, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Who can forget Martin Castrogiovanni?
Yes, yeah, what a player. Not quite sure I ever saw him doing that though.
Far too much like hard work, I'd say, for him. Not bad on tour either, from what I've heard.
Don't doubt that for 1 second.
Last play. Yeah.
I think it might have been him that once missed a club match because he'd had an invite from Zlatan Ibrahimovic to take a trip to Las Vegas.
Last play, both teams.
Can't blame him too much for that, maybe.
I'm told he had a good time.
If there isn't forward pass, there's nothing I can do. I'm so sorry, guys.
The Oratory thought they were away there, but the referee just brings them back for the forward pass. In fact, the referee has decided that's enough for the first half. And so we head into the break after what had been a pretty dominant Oratory display. They were 12-0 up, but we head into the half-time break with the Oratory leading London Oratory 12 points to 7. I believe he did knock over that conversion just at the end. Fantastic first half of rugby here at Grasshoppers RFC as the rain comes sweeping in. Perhaps the referee just wanted to stay dry. Hey, half time, the Oratory 12, London Oratory 7.
That's for you. Come on, number 3.
Welcome back then for the second half. London Oratory are out nice and early for it. The Oratory still inside, just keeping things calm. And so while we wait for the Oratory, we'll have a quick run through those team sheets that we didn't quite get the opportunity to do just at the start of the game. We'll begin with London Oratory since they're on the field. They've got co-captains tonight. John Daniel Remmer at fly half and Fian Kearney in the second row. He's alongside Chidam Ndu Anike up front. Daniel Sochin, Tristan Kapara Singh and Leonardo Sasato Dusabata, Jack Gallagher, Aaron O'Donovan and Lorenzo Benini in the back row. John Wakiyama McDonald is alongside Remmer in the halfbacks. Centres are Shinnon Gallagher and Frederick Dunning. And in the back three, Aniello Capiello, Cormac Keegan and Valentine Davis. The Oratory, meanwhile, are out on the field and led by Kian Tapan with Archie Wild and Rudy Derbyshire either side of him in the second row. Charlie Burton and Debo Coker. Up front, Will Hickling, Will Dixon and Rocco Valabona, who's been all over the place in the first half. Somto Monye and Max Hucker are the halfbacks. Jake Jackson and Elliot Saunders in the centres. Adi Hector, Tom Davies and Jay Herbert are in the backfield. And we are back underway. And Patrick, what a big 35 minutes we've got coming up.
It is. That try just before half-time by London Oratory has given them real momentum, and they'll be hoping that they can get a little bit more territory, a little bit more of the ball. Might be a challenge going into the win this half, but that might suit them ball in hand. The Oratory strategy straight away, maybe not going through as many phases as London Oratory did back there. Quite quickly into the box kick, and managed to win the ball in the air and got the scrum from it.
What would your tactic be here? Would it be to get Boot on ball? Would it be to run it in the knowledge that you've got that space to move the ball into if needs be? Or?
I think Boot on ball, particularly with an experienced pack and an experienced scrum half. They're just starting to come the wrong side of the referee on some of the scrum decisions, and they'll want to tidy that up if they're going to play that type of game. Saunders has also gone off in the middle, so maybe that's a weapon they've lost from the middle of the pitch. I'm sure Mr. Watson and Mr. Hennessy will be quite clear with the boys about what they want this half.
Michael McDonough, the London Oratory head of rugby, clearly at half-time has instructed his players to go hard and go direct, and that's exactly what they've been doing at the start of the second half as Gallagher goes thumping forward that time. Ball just lost forward though. It'll be an Oratory scrum.
They're getting some real joy from their big forwards carrying up the middle there. That ball had gone to hand there. There's an overlap maybe of 2 or 3. It's just that last pass isn't quite going to hand for them at the moment, but they do look really dangerous ball in hand.
Almost just need that patience, don't they, that they showed for their first score.
Absolutely, just try and make sure they've got enough good runners just to cause the Oratory problems. Just got to keep hold of that ball.
No, don't pull.
Scrappy off the base, but Oratory tidy it up. Valabona just has a blast down the fringe, but it's great work on the deck. Kapara Singh getting his big mitts on it.
Just got himself a bit isolated there. Really good work on the floor from London Oratory.
Let's go.
Referee keen for them to get moving. Looks like they will do now.
Interesting they've gone to the tap penalty. I think with the wind as it is, the lineup maybe is more of a 50-50. With some of their carrying, seems like a good option.
Unsurprisingly, Sasato Dusabata was the man to step up and say, give it to me on that tap penalty. Rain has briefly abated.
Advantage penalty, not rolling 8.
Another penalty given away by the Oratory.
Monia had
Really
to work
good
hard
take.
in the backfield there. He had to work really hard.
We go back here. Number 8. Not rolling. 8.
Really good start to the second half by London Oratory here, showing some intent. ball carriers really carrying strongly.
John Daniel Remmett will try and get this one to the touchline. Good kick as well. Wind just died down right at the crucial moment for him there.
Still had to give it a head of a thump to get it there. Be interesting to see now what London Oratory do from this maul.
It's like being a golfer on the first tee, isn't it? Waiting for the wind to die down before you strike it.
Never been my luck. The wind always seems to be extremely strong when I'm about to take the tee.
Let's go, London.
Yeah, it's always my excuse too. It's always windy when I'm playing. Only when I'm striking it as well.
On the line, everyone.
Dead still for everyone else. London Oratory take the line out down brilliantly this time, and they work it around the blind side.
Now.
Fantastic carry from Benini.
Stay back. Advantage, offside.
And now the try scorer, Di Sabato, going for another, just inches short. London Oratory up to the line and across the line. It's the big second row, Chidum Anike, that gets the score. And we are back on level terms.
And I think that's been coming. They've made a really good start to the second half. And once some of those forwards get in around the try area, they're going to be difficult to stop. They're hard to stop from there. I think Oratory will be disappointed with their start to the second half, win behind them, but all credit to London Oratory. They've started the second half where they left off.
Well, it's been a funny old pattern to the game, hasn't it? Both sides in their sort of opening spell playing into the wind have found the going easier than playing with it.
I think maybe it just gives you clarity that you're going to have to play ball in hand. The forwards are going to have to carry really hard, and maybe that plays to the strengths of both teams. He's just hit the post with the conversion there, so all square.
Duanike, the try scorer there. We are level pegging. We had a draw here a couple of years ago, 19-all. The closest London Oratory have come to victory in this fixture this century. Could we see something special here tonight? Restart looks as though it might have gone straight out. Referee was just checking, but it has.
Here. Direct. If you're not captain, it's not my fault, okay? Ask your coach, okay? Ask your coach to be captain. It's not my fault. Yeah, if you want to talk to me. Rest. It's in the middle, okay, guys? Crouch!
Scrum on halfway then, London Oratory ball.
I'm going to change. We are preset here, okay? We can't. Here to here, no more. Guys.
Referee decides that he needs to pay close attention to this near side to us. Let's keep an eye on that ourselves.
Let's go. Keep the gap.
Will Hickling.
Crouch!
And the try scorer,
Bind!
Leonardo Cesato Di Sabata,
Set!
going head to head on this near side.
9.
And they keep things clean and tidy in front of the referee. So picking up off the base goes Bellini, and Bellini straightens and then gives it out to Davis, whose blind pass doesn't quite go to hand.
You're on the floor, you can't play the ball.
That's really unfortunate.
11 on the floor, can't
Really
play the
good
ball.
work. Again, just that final pass.
Monnier eyeing up a big booming kick here. Doesn't quite get the distance he perhaps was looking for. But it will be his side's ball. We just see this again here. Bellini did really well off the base of the scrum. Then Davis just trying to draw and give blind. Just couldn't quite find his runner on the outside.
They're creating opportunities. Every time they get the ball, they look a threat.
Derbyshire to throw. Poached by London Oratory. And then Kapra Singh does really well just to inch his way back in field and avoid that touchline. Both sides starting to play with real physicality now. And a penalty comes up for the Oratory.
Looked like Ian had tapping again on the floor, coming up with a big moment for his team to try and swing the momentum back for them.
Monye sticks it up towards the 22. Tell you what, it's a captivating this one. There's football training going on the fields behind us, and the players have been lining the touchline here, watching the action on the field. Taking their eyes off it for the moment though, because the ball's gone astray.
Back. On 10.
Now we've got all the right shaped balls on all the right pitches. We're ready to go again. Tapan takes it at the front, gets the offload away, but doesn't quite go to hand. It was a clever move, just doesn't quite work.
Yeah, really well worked. Derbyshire just slightly overran it there. Probably a very good option in the weather as well, keeping it simple. Interesting setup here from Oratory. Valabonna's lifting Burton, one man at the front. Debo Coker's just in the middle of it all.
Well, it almost works. Burton got hands on, but the Oratory just won it back.
Over now, over, done, 8.
Tapan almost getting his hands on it again. Every breakdown that he gets within inches of, he's all over.
Extra roll, contest is
And
first.
perhaps that threat of the breakdown just forces London Oratory into an extra roll on the floor there. And gives the Oratory the penalty. Monye's going to go to the corner here. See if he can set up for a good maul situation for his side.
Seems like a very deliberate tactic from the Oratory to try and slow down the London Oratory ball and really compete hard at the breakdown, try and put a little bit of pressure on some of the forwards in there and stop some of the big runners on some of the quick ball.
See there on the faces of the players what it means to them.
Absolutely, great occasion for both sets of lads. I know, being in this fixture myself many years ago, that these are big derbies and you want to come out on the right side of the scoreline.
Okay, so first, straight, okay.
Interesting one off this set piece. The Oratory have just switched their wingers, bringing Bodo to the left wing
Square.
and sending Hector
You can do
off
it,
to the
but it needs to
right.
be
Now they
straight,
switch
okay.
again.
And then anyway, there will be no advantage because
So there was obviously a move planned,
next to you, not at the end, okay?
that I suspect involved Hector getting his hands on it on the inside somewhere.
I think so, as we mentioned, maybe Mac Hansen-esque coming off that wing, looking to get a touch off the fly half.
Crouch! 5! Set!
As it is, London Oratory scrum, Hector in the backfield alongside
Use it,
Herbert.
now put it up. Move back, right?
And it's towards Herbert that the long clearing kick goes. That's a fantastic kick in these conditions. Absolutely brilliant from John Daniel Remmer, the co-captain of this London Oratory side. No right to get that sort of distance.
Yeah, absolutely superb exit. Really relieved the pressure there.
Yeah, there's only 2 marks, one for you, one for me.
Big line out in front of that packed crowd. Just in front of the London Oratory bench there. Such a contest at line-out time. Neither side can get a clean catch on it. They're being forced to tap it back by the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the Oratory setup there. Getting 2 one-man lifts in. It's really forcing London Oratory to work out where they're going to throw it. And even the ball they're getting isn't the cleanest off that. So a really good tactic there from Mr. Watson, the forwards coach. Gives Oratory a good platform. Best one of the second half here.
Crouch!
If someone had told me 10 years ago, 5 years ago maybe, that we'd be routinely seeing props at school level doing one-man lifts, I'd have laughed them out of the room.
Stop, over now.
It's amazing, really, and then 30 seconds later they have to go and pack down, have a scrum, then carry the ball. Really great effort from the lads that are doing that.
Jackson with his first big carry of the second half, and he's still going forward as Jackson, refusing to go down. Eventually, after about 4 or 5 tacklers wrap themselves around him, he goes to ground, but now his side are right on the front foot. That's a lovely late pass from Valabona as well. And his side get the penalty as well, not rolling away. Monye goes quickly, Monye's away. Monye's going to be away for the score, surely. Sante Monye, try-scoring machine for the Oratory. Quick thinking, quick-footed, and he gets his side back in the lead.
That is really sharp work there. Only took a split second, saw the gap, and he was away. A try scorer in this fixture last year as well. And once he got one-on-one with the fullback there, he did fancy him, but really good phase play there, nice tip on ball. Very smart work, that.
I'm glad he finished it off, because I called it early that he'd scored it, because I hadn't seen the fullback covering across. Fortunately, for my blushes, Monye is fleet of foot. Step on the inside, and at that point he knows, his side know. And the Oratory go 19-12 in front now.
Yeah, I think really big play that. They've been under the cosh a little bit at the end of the first half, beginning of the second, and that might just relieve a little bit of the pressure.
All born from that Jackson carry.
And I think some of their best rugby has been focused around him. When he's getting the ball and carried it hard, it's just given a little bit more space, got them on the front foot, allowed their forwards to come around the corner and really hit some good lines.
Tom Davis it was, slotting the extras.
Tackle now. Over, no hands. Brought back. Move back, everyone.
I've gone straight boot to ball, not messing around.
Back, 16. Back. Okay.
What's Monye got here?
Back 12.
A great kick.
It's a ball, and there's a load of space back there. It's going to run and run. The chase is on. Hector's after it. It's well covered in the end. Capiello, under all kinds of pressure, was holding on to the floor, though. It's going to be a penalty to the Oratory. Hector did really well not to fall on top of the ball, to stay legal, and now Jackson's gone quickly. He's been held up, though, and driven backwards. Good defence from the Oratory, from London
Massive
Oratory.
moment from Somto Monye there. Great kick into the backfield. Good chase.
Over. He's not lifting.
Inches short.
Short.
Short again. You can hear the call from the referee. The forwards want this one. Now they get it over. The loose head, Will Hickling, emerges with the ball.
Jake, no. Control the game.
It's a day for the front rowers.
Absolutely. I was hearing before kickoff that for this season he hadn't managed to score a single try ever, and that's his 4th one of the season there.
Certainly is. Moves him level at the top of the try-scoring charts for the Oratory.
Really well played there by the Oratory. Good kick into the backfield by Somto Monye. 2 big moments for him the last couple of minutes, which has turned the tide of the game again.
20.
And it was the calmness, wasn't it, in the backfield with Monye. Took his time to pick his spot out. Didn't go herring up towards the defence, just sort of tread water for a moment, looked for a space. Got the ball to it. And his mate Tom Davis is out of the extras to that Will Hickling try. Back-to-back scores for the Oratory. Just makes things a little more comfortable for them at 26-12.
I think Oratory have kicked the ball really well since going 12-all, just given them that field position to be able to get into their game a little bit.
Tapan underneath the kickoff, as he has been invariably.
Work back.
They're going to look to play out here, and that might be a good decision because there's some space out here. The big wide pass comes in, and there's a lot of space here for Hector to move into. Hector glides inside. Oh, it's going to be a lovely, lovely score for the Oratory. Somte Monia there on that inside line for Hector.
15.
3 tries in 3 minutes. Brilliant play from the Oratory from deep inside their own half, finished off by Monia. Glorious rugby.
That's an absolutely superb try there, and I think you can see that London Oratory dropped men into the backfield there, expecting the kick. Oratory then had the confidence to run out, and it's that man Hector again. Yeah, another big moment for Monnier.
Tracking on that classic scrum half inside line was Monia.
Yeah, I think looking at his eyes there, he knew he was getting that ball for the score about 20 metres out from it actually happening.
When the try is scored, it's over. It goes away his way, okay? No more 15.
Wonderful play from the Oratory. Great ambition. This is good from Hector as well. Just turns on the afterburner, steps inside. That means the last defender has to go for him, which frees up Monia on the inside. And all of a sudden, as Tom Davies adds the extras, it is a commanding 33-12 lead for the Oratory hit. And now Tapan wants in on the action.
Yeah, he's really led from the front today, been at the heart of all the good things that the Oratory had done. Another sensible option.
Davis covers in the backfield and looks to use a bit of that footwork, and
Really
now we
good.
see what he's got in the locker.
That
Tried
man
to
Tapan again covering.
Tackle, no hands.
You're tempted to ask what he's even doing there, but the answer is he has an inkling for where these things are going to go. Lovely play from Davis, though, in the backfield. We've seen a couple of examples of his quality when he has a bit of space in front of him.
Yeah, he's looked
No,
dangerous
no, no.
throughout.
Advantage. Side. 3.
This is what London Oratory
Advantage,
need
no
now. They
running
need
here.
to get their forwards carrying the ball hard to the line, have a bit of possession of the ball, do what they were doing well at the end of the first half, beginning of the second.
Double advantage, huh? Okay. Not rolling. You've got JD. You've got here, number 3 on the side. And here. Not rolling away.
Back we come then
Yeah.
for the London Oratory penalty. There is still time
You're
here.
in your half, okay?
We've seen how quickly tries can be scored, and we've still got the better part of 15 minutes left. But they won't want to be conceding anymore, that's for sure.
And they do look like a team who could go back to back and accumulate points quite quickly.
Yeah, we certainly saw that either side of the half-time break, didn't we? Counter punch. So going 12-0 behind. They've got to do similar here.
Yeah, and it's just taken some big moments from some of the senior players in the Oratory side who sort of grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck a little bit and had some big moments.
Line-out continues to be a really difficult area for both sides. Not a huge amount either side can do about it either.
Even hard to keep it simple because then it becomes a little bit more obvious what you're doing. But gives Oratory a good attacking platform here. Be interesting to see what they do. Max Hucker's a left footer. London Oratory have put the winger up high. Do they kick the ball in behind again? Do they try and put the ball out wide again? They've manipulated that defence really well.
No, he didn't touch it.
Monia goes quickly, not quite how he planned it, but it all went backwards, so his team can keep playing and there might be a bit of space for them. Got penalty advantage as well. Jackson then releases Hector down this far side, back inside to Jackson. Jackson bumps off the tackler and gets across the line. Uses his physicality to its full effect. And Jack Jackson gets the score that some of his brilliant players deserve today.
Really good play there. Hector involved again. Going to be a hard tackle to make that with Jackson storming to the line.
Just understands his body so well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he rode that really well, anticipated the hit and almost used the momentum of the defender to bounce him over the line.
Monnier back on kicking duties. His team absolutely thriving at the moment.
In this last 10 minutes, they seem to really have turned the screw. Played some lovely rugby, kept the ball alive.
Decent nudge from Monnier, but doesn't quite make it through the uprights. So it's 38 points to 12. They've got about 10 minutes left to play. It's another lovely, lovely try from the Oratory. Hector again involved heavily. And actually his composure with the ball in hand when contact comes has been quite a feature.
Yeah, very, very good. Really impressive.
That's the response that London Oratory needed. It was a good take from Derbyshire, but London Oratory pinned him on the floor and get the penalty. .26 points behind.
A key moment here for London Oratory if they're going to forge their way back in here.
Hey guys, it's yours.
4 quick converted tries. Sounds a bit insane, but actually when you look at the last 10 minutes, that's exactly what the Oratory have done.
Yeah, and I think with their strike power, as we've alluded to, they're definitely capable of doing that.
Line out, tap back, so Bellini has to scramble and does really well. Gets himself up to within a couple of meters of the try line. Round to the open side they go. Is that held up or have they got it down?
No, it's short, it's short. Leave it.
Neither. It's not reached the line yet. Short. This time they're over. Looks like it might be a double for Chidham Ndu and Ike.
Yeah, good composure there in and around the line, just what they needed.
It wasn't the line-out play they were looking to create, but it certainly worked, and that conversion has certainly worked as well. A brilliant strike from John Daniel Remmer.
That is a great kick, the wind as it is.
38-19.
In fact, it was the hooker, Tristan Kapra Singh, that got across the try line.
Okay, you have time to shot.
You can see him there. Kapra Singh, the man with London Oratory's third score.
7 minutes.
Oratory have played this quad cute. They've taken their time to get back up to halfway.
Yeah, I'm sure a very deliberate ploy, just to try and take the sting out of the game a little bit.
Roll 2.
Dunning
Roll back in.
took that one out for 22. Now Gallagher is met inside the 22.
You've got number 7 here.
Oratory
It's okay, play on.
sniffing at every breakdown. Derbyshire this time decides that it's time to blast on a counter ruck, but London Oratory move the ball
Get
away.
that now. Over. You've lost it. Over 10.
They're going to look to play as much as they possibly can here, London Oratory. Points are the order of the day right now.
You've got to play on the way. Play on. Back.
Oratory are making life so difficult with the breakdown though.
Yeah, really competing heavily just to stop any momentum.
Stay there. Use it now.
Remmert moves a little wider to Gallagher. That's nice play, and then they weren't quite sure where the ball has gone. It's ended up in the hands of Jackson, not the man you want to get the loose ball from a London Oratory perspective.
We go back. First knock on here, second knock on, we go back. Here.
And we come back for a scrum.
Been the story for London Oratory a little bit, just the odd pass not quite going to hand when line break is on.
550.
We managed to get that away. It looked like a great attacking platform there, but really dangerous scrum for Oratory here. You feel that if they can get another try here, might put the game beyond London Oratory.
Crouch. Bind. Straight.
Oratory have split the backs here with this centre field scrum. Look to the right hand side, but another area that London Oratory have been really good on. John Wakiyama McDonald putting pressure at the base of the scrum, earning his side the penalty. That ball's loose though, so they're going to have to try and run it out.
Big tackle there on the far touchline.
No hands.
So big, neither side was quite sure where the ball was for just a second. It's in the hands of Monye. Dancing feet at the scrum half, but he's hit hard.
Okay, over for
Balabona. Good carry to just restore a sense of normalcy to proceedings here. Jackson now does similar.
Roll, no hands.
Just fighting to try and find a little bit of shape here. And after a couple of good carries, that's what they have, but then a big counter comes in from London Oratory, forces the knock on.
It's lifted, you can attack. All good.
Both sides really fighting to just try and create an opportunity to get some structure going.
Yeah, it's been a little bit scrappy there in the last minute or two. London Oratory will be happy to have the ball. Let's see if they can produce something from deep here. Yeah, really, both sides starting to put an enormous amount of pressure on at the breakdown. It's just making it difficult for the scrum halves to get the ball away.
Crouch. Bind.
Oratory have got a nice blind side to work with here.
Okay, use it now.
London Oratory, I should say, had a nice blind side to work with, but that's lost forward at the base of the scrum. So
Again, same mark.
it is now going to be Oratory ball.
Oratory left line side empty here. They've stacked it open field.
Bind. Okay, on the other side here, you need to let it bind. Okay, let it bind.
Interestingly, London Oratory leaving the winger. I've always been of the view that on a scrum where you're going left to right,
Crouch.
if they stack the open side, you don't really need your blindside winger because your flanker and your scrum half can deal with that.
I think so, particularly. It leaves them vulnerable in the middle of the field here, particularly you've seen Hector come off the wing a few times here. They'll probably be looking to pick a hole somewhere in the middle that he can come off his wing into.
Too close, and here you need to let it bind, okay? Let him bind, and you're going to go.
The Oratory will not be too unhappy with a couple of resets here. It's eating the clock up. We're down to 3 minutes roughly left to play.
Set.
What a shift from these front row boys as well. They've been on the
They've
field.
done a terrific job.
Tapan breaks off the base, gets the offload away. That's fantastic from Tapan, and it's a wonderful carry from his back row colleague Archie Wild.
Yeah, really strong carry there by Kian Tapan. Great offload into Archie Wild. Those two have been workhorses for the Oratory this evening. Archie Wild fully deserving his try there.
Another one of those survivors from last year's team, and one who is led from the front here, gets a try for his efforts.
Yeah, I just think that's been quite a vital thing in this game. That we talked a little bit about Oratory having a lot of their pack returning, and it's just given them that experience when they've really needed it.
Again, contrast, there are 4 players in the London Oratory side in the pack that were in their under-16s last year. It is a big step up, particularly in that pack.
Yeah, I think so. That experience you get, that sort of ability to know where you need to be, what you need to do. It is a big step up from under-16s. I mean, they've acquitted themselves really, really well, but I just think that little bit of know-how really helped the Oratory in the second half, particularly when the game has got tight.
We can't play without the ball.
Well, not for the first time. We're short of the most crucial ingredient in the game of rugby, the ball.
Has been remarkable.
There are loads knocking around.
Ready?
It's everyone in the crowd. They want a souvenir of the evening. It has been a special evening here at Grasshoppers. It always is. That kick's not gone 10. Jackson saw a rib cage there and thought, well, I'm having a bit of that.
Yeah, he's been impressive. I think some of his carrying and defence has really been strong this evening. You can see why Ealing had taken a liking to him on their pathway.
We've got 30 seconds, 33-0.
30 seconds left to go, says the referee. He's had a good game tonight, the referee.
I think he's been excellent. You barely noticed that he's there, and I think that's always the sign when excellent referees really let the game flow, the boys play, and actually crucially for a schoolboy game explain his decision making, which I think is really important.
Hugely important part of the schoolboy game.
Advantage. Off it.
London Oratory with advantage, so there will be at least one more play after this one.
Off it, number
The
4.
try scorer, Leonardo Sato de Sabata. How good was that moment in the first half?
Number 4, clearly off it here. It's time.
They go quickly from the penalty. Not sure Remmer particularly wanted that ball, but he's given it on to one of his mates.
Stay there.
Remmer again.
Can London Oratory find a reward for some of their endeavour, their hard work this evening?
Robert Power took that one forward. Ball ends up in touch. And that is going to be that. The Oratory with an outstanding performance here at Grasshoppers RFC. London Oratory stepped up as much as was possible, but a second half blitz from the Reading side in the end was just unstoppable, and it finishes up the Oratory 45, London Oratory 19. And Patrick, a sensational second half from the Oratory.
Yeah, phenomenal. When the game went to 12-12, you sense that London Oratory had the momentum, but he plays for some big players for the Oratory and some fantastic tries. Running the ball from deep, manipulating the defence, and really coming through strongly in the end.
And a word on London Oratory as well, not the scoreline they would have wanted, but actually through the game, you know, the way they came back to being 12-0 down with their try either side of half time, and obviously getting back towards the end, giving a sense that they could edge their way back into the game, albeit it didn't happen. They stepped up as well as possible.
100%, they had their opportunities. The final pass often just didn't quite go to hand for them, but I think though their boys can be really proud of their efforts today, and they were just on the end of a really good sort of 10-12 minutes from the Oratory where they were able to cut loose. But the London Oratory boys should be really proud of what they've done there for their school this evening.
They certainly should, but when all is said and done, the plaudits will go the way of the Oratory. They were absolutely fantastic, and just to pick out a handful of their players, you know, Somto Monia at scrum half, fantastic. 80 Hector on the wing, Jake Jackson in the centres, but Kian Tapan, the skipper, at 8, just bringing such a sense of calm authority to things.
Yeah, I think when they really needed him, he stepped up. He was taking on carries, making plays in defence, and he really led from the front for the others to follow. Likes of Hector, Monnier probably can't do what they do if someone like Kian Tapan doesn't do that. So really impressive from him tonight, and just that calm authority he had as a captain was really, really impressive.
It certainly was, as the referee comes over to return his microphone to us. What a fantastic game he had. I'm going to jump down now and see if I can catch a word with a few of the players and coaches down there in the rain. But until then, Patrick, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
it's
you
been
for having
fantastic.
me. Absolute pleasure.
Some real insight, and you can give your brother a good pat on the back after that one.
Yeah, I think he did all right tonight. I think he'll be fairly happy with how the boys went in the second half.
I'm sure you'll find something to critique on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Final score then, London Oratory 19, the Oratory 45. A fantastic game here at Grasshoppers RFC. I'll be back with you in just a few seconds with a word from a few of the key players from tonight's game. Joined by a couple of tonight's stars from the Oratory. I'm going to start with the captain, Cian Tappan, because your boys put in one hell of a shift tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely knackering. We were under the cosh for the start of that first half, level game. I think it went a bit chaotic for 5 minutes. We managed to pick up the pieces, come out on top. So really pleased with the boys.
Yeah, because obviously the first half quite a tight affair, and obviously London Oratory scoring either side at half-time. We were talking in commentary about how we were looking at a tight game that was going to be coming down to a couple of points, but actually in the end that blitz of tries, it was 4 tries in quick succession, really paid dividends for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was absolutely chaotic, as I said, and I think, you know, maybe the scoreline flattered us a little bit. It felt very close on the field. You know, there was a lot of pressure, and just really, really pleased with the boys' effort. I think we worked really hard in that second half to pull it off.
And this man, your back row colleague Archie had a bit of a stormer as well.
Yeah, 100%. He always does. Bit of Oratory dog from him.
And Archie, talk me through. You had the finishing touch at the end. How did that feel?
Feels good. I mean, all the boys, we always talk about the character of the fellas, and I mean, it doesn't matter who scores tries, we all put in shifts there at the end, and those tries came quickly just because the character of the fellas just all the way through 60 minutes, and it pays off at the end, makes the scoreline look flattering, so they all worked hard for it.
And just a quick word in on London Oratory, your opponents tonight. I mean, in the end, the scoreline they didn't want, but they gave you a hell of a game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they always give us a good run. I think it's a great derby for us, and yeah, you know, kind of emotional. Last time I played them as a schoolboy, so you know, big congratulations to them because they really took us close there.
And Archie, for you boys internally, this means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going to celebrate it hard. And it means a lot. It's always a big game. Seeing the boys today, come watching the juniors, knowing that they're going to be doing this as well. And it feels good to just first team level, always top it off for the win. And a performance like that always helps.
Big second half of the season coming up after the break.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we got another game on Saturday, so hopefully we can get the job done there. And then, yeah, come back after half term, see what we can do. Take it all the way.
Lovely stuff, guys. Go get dry. Enjoy the celebrations with your teammates.
Thanks very much.
And well done tonight. The Oratory boys very happy with their day's work. We're going to go and see if we can find someone else to talk to, and then it's going to be time for feedback ratings. And we've got 2 games worth to do for you on those feedback ratings. We're going to find a nice dry place to do that because it's a bit miserable out here, as you may have noticed. So we're going to cut to a couple of messages from the brilliant partners of the Oratory that got this game underway, notably the Old Boys Association, and then we'll be with those feedback ratings and hopefully a word with Mikey Hennessy and some of the coaches.
I dipped a bit quick there, but
So, as promised, those feedback scores, I've got myself up to the clubhouse here where things are a little bit drier. Not that dry, but dry enough. So we're going to get into the feedback ratings, and my cameraman's going to come and drop right in here. Oh, he's starting to enjoy these feedback ratings, my cameraman. So we have a look here. We can take you into the assessor zone, and we'll look at the Oratory. And we take a look first of all at teamwork and cohesion. Well, we can say for sure that was excellent this evening. It was 8 out of 10. Adaptability, these conditions were absolutely atrocious. They adapted fantastically, and so we give them an 8 out of 10 on that as well. Skill execution, obviously with the conditions it was tricky to get those skills going, but we think back to those tries, the likes of Hector and Monya executing their skills, absolutely outstanding. 8 out of 10 there. Physicality and intensity was a difficult one. Physicality and intensity, some of it really, really good. Other times they found it hard just to get their connectivity going. A 7 out of 10 there. Set piece dominance, both sides really struggled at line out time. Just the conditions were the real problem there for everyone. So we go with a 6 there. Game management was outstanding, has to be said, in really difficult conditions. An 8 out of 10 there. Discipline, meanwhile, both sides struggled for penalties in the opening exchanges. And we go with a 7 out of 10 there, which gives them an overall feedback score of 74. So we just scroll down, submit that. Sorry, my phone's not working that well, what with it being so wet, but we'll these are all problems we can overcome. London Oratory then, for teamwork and cohesion, we give them an 8. Adaptability, well, again, they adapted really well to the conditions. We'll give them a 7. Skill execution, that's probably where they found the goings toughest. They just couldn't get those offloads to stick, could they? So we give them a 6 on that if my phone will respond to my thumb, such as the wetness of it. Physicality and intensity, very similar actually to London Oratory there, to the Oratory rather, I should say. We give them a 7 there. Set piece dominant, like I said, both sides found the going tough on that. Game management, Again, they did well there, actually. We'll give them a 7 out of 10. Worked really well into the wind, didn't they? And both sides, as I say, struggled on the discipline front a little bit, particularly in that first half. A 6 out of 10 there. A score of 67 for London Oratory. So we just scroll down and submit that. Now, we are going to do a second feedback rating because being the tardy individual that I am, I didn't do it earlier on for the Shiplake versus Aylesbury Grammar School game. Shiplake were fantastic in that one. It was a good victory for Shiplake, and they were superb. Their teamwork was outstanding, an 8 out of 10 there. Adaptability, they didn't have to adapt that much, to be honest. So we go with a 7 there. They didn't get anything wrong, but they just played brilliantly. Skill execution, very similar, an 8 out of 10 there. Physicality and intensity, who can forget that front row of theirs? Absolutely enormous, so physical and intense, a 9 there. Set piece dominance, both sides actually in that game as well struggled with line out, so we go with a 6 there. Game management was excellent, we'll give them an 8 there. Discipline was very good, we go with a 7 there for an overall rating of 75 for Shiplake College. Aylesbury Grammar School then, we'll just rifle through this. Fantastic teamwork. They really applied themselves really well in defeat. We'll give them an 8 out of 10 there. I was really impressed. Adaptability, they struggled against a different challenge from Shiplake College. We'll go 6 there. Skill execution was pretty decent. We'll give that a 7. Physicality was probably where they struggled. They just couldn't quite match the physicality that the Shiplake front row brought. So a 6 there. Likewise, the set piece obviously struggled a bit in the line out time and that brilliant Shiplake front row. Game management, they were really good in the second half, particularly their fullback, outstanding in game management. I'm actually going to give them a 9 there. And discipline just fell off a couple of decisions. We're going to go with a 7 there for an overall rating of 70. We just scroll down, submit that, and those are our feedback ratings for today's game. Today's game between the Oratory and London Oratory was an absolute peach of a game, wasn't it? A really fantastic game here at Grasshoppers RFC. It's been a superb evening. I must stress, you've got to stay with us through the weekend. We've got such a fantastic weekend coming up. 2 massive festivals. The first ever John Fisher State Schools Festival. 12 state school teams, only state schools invited, and they're all going down and playing a massive, massive tournament there. We're going to have every game for you live. That's on Saturday and Sunday. On Friday, Saturday and Sunday, it is the 38th annual St Joseph's College National Schools Rugby Festival. The biggest, the best, the most important 15-a-side tournament in English schools rugby. It is massive. On Friday, it all starts anew with an under-15s tournament that's never been seen before. So it's under-15s on Friday. That starts at 12:30, and then it is all about the big one, Saturday and Sunday, from an early start, 9:30 on Saturday, 9 o'clock on Sunday, and all the way through. Millfield gunning for a 9th title. St Michael's College come over from Ireland. You've got Kirkham Grammar School, Wellington College, Berkhamsted. You've got Hampton, who are in great form. Seaford College, who were up at Merchiston last week, and they come down. The teams are just fantastic. It is going to be an epic weekend. No matter which festival you tune into, you're in for luck. It is going to be special. It's been pretty special here tonight as well at Grasshoppers RFC. It's all rounded up with the Oratory taking the victory, 45 points to 19 against London Oratory. It's been an absolute pleasure to guide you through it. Fantastic thanks to Patrick Hennessy as well for coming along on co-coms. How good was he in talking us through the intricacies? Been a fantastic night. We're delighted you've watched. Stay with us through the weekend, but in the meantime, have a very, very good night and stay dry.
right kit changes everything. With the right kit, you're ready for anything. United, connected, unstoppable. Whatever your sport, we are your sporting partner. Creating your kit your way. For every team, for every challenge, for every aspiration. Feel seen, feel ready, feel part of the team. Kit on, game on.